What's up everybody? In today's video we're going to be building out the H9 Elite from NZXT. So get a comfy chair and strap in because here we go. So as you can see over my shoulder here is the H9 Elite. This thing is pretty awesome. I'm upgrading from the H5 Elite and there's some massive differences. Well, for starters, this is a dual chamber system, and what that means is you'll notice how there's no power supply or PSU unit here anymore. In the H5 it's built up here for the PSU to sit from the back. Oh my lord. So when you don't have the PSU here, where does it go? Well, it's called a dual chamber because if you look, it's actually 2 layers thick here. And so from the back side here, this is where the PSU sits, and it sits out the back here, which is directly behind the motherboard. So they've also got this really awesome rack here for 4 2.5-inch SSDs. So this is where I'm going to do my long-term storage expansion here. There's also this little fella right here. And that's for 2 HDDs, so hard disk drives. You can fit 2 of them in there, the 3.5-inch ones. I'm probably going to remove that cage because I don't really plan on using that. But yeah, wow, it comes pre-mounted with some of these dual RGB fans. Dual RGB fans. And they're set up right now to suck this way and push into the case. I think I'm going to leave that way for now. We'll just talk real briefly about what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to change the camera angle and we'll get right into it. So bear with me a minute here, guys. So what we're going to do today is, first things first, we're going to get the motherboard. We're going to stick the motherboard in this area here. Once we get the motherboard in, I think we'll tackle the exit fan here. And then we'll tackle I'm going to put the CPU radiator all-in-one cooler up here with the RGB fans. We're going to do a set of 3 fans down in the bottom here as well. Once we get that portion of the build out done, I think we'll do our PSU and we'll get most of our wiring done. And then we'll do the graphics card. So got a bit of a surprise and a bit of a treat. The graphics card, we're going to go from a horizontal mount like traditional to a vertical mount. And I bought the matching NZXT one that's specific to work for the H9 too. So it's going to look pretty cool in here, guys. So yeah, buckle up. Here we go. Alright everybody, I think it's worth taking a moment to note that I am not sponsored or affiliated with any of the manufacturers of any of the products in today's video. This is completely on my funds, my dime, my everything. I have no sponsorship, so anybody looking to sponsor some of these videos, sponsors are welcome, but these are currently all on me. These are independent reviews on stuff I'm building, so yeah, enjoy. So, quick thing worth mentioning, this H9 Elite case, it comes with pretty much all the little doodahs and hoo-has and screws and whatever you're going to need to put most of this together. Comes with a little bag of zap straps, which is pretty handy. It also, this glass panel on the top here that the cooler mounts in, this has got the 360 configuration, 3 fan or 360 configuration for radiator in it. It actually came with a 240. So then it's got glass off the one part and it sits in the one side and you flip it either way, I believe. So it's pretty cool. Worth mentioning. And this thing's all about the airflow. I will get into it later. We'll see the back of the case and stuff. It's pretty amazing. So when you're going to handle your motherboard, you want to do it in a way that you don't have to move your hands. Try and touch edges. Try and grab structural pieces if you can. Right, so I'm going to handle mine kind of like this. I'm just grabbing on the bottom. Now, you want to kind of just keep coming in slow. There's no rush. There'll be a little stud you can see right there. It just sat on the stud. So I'm going to kind of just relax that. Oh, I almost made the classic mistake there, guys. You're going to want to install this bad boy first. Make sure you put it in the right way. That's relatively important. And it should just snap in there. It's worth noting the exhaust fan here, I haven't put it in yet because I feel like it might be in the way of my wiring. This is actually a rebuild PC, so my memory's installed, and I've got my M.2 drives, all 4 of them installed there already, so there you have it. Alright guys, so what we got going on here is this little device here, and what this does is it goes in here and it offsets your GPU, so your graphics card's not going to sit here anymore. It's actually going to be relocated and sitting down here. And if you get this H9, there's going to be 3 fans in the bottom here that I'm going to have shooting straight up past the graphics card. So this should make a significant difference in temperatures. So because this is a NZXT, which matches the case, it actually came with this little guy here, which is exclusive to the H9 case, which this is the H9 Elite. And this thing goes in, oh no, oh man, that was close call, guys. So what this piece does is it actually fits underneath this leg right here and holds it up so it supports your heavy graphics card so you don't get any sag. Okay, so what I installed right here, the H9 case has two little holes down there, and this is the graphics card support bar for the horizontal graphics card mounting kit. Alright guys, I think at this time it is time to put this bad boy in. This is the Kraken Elite RGB 360. This thing is awesome. So in this case, it looks like what we can do here, let's take those bad boys out. Yes, so here, this is the mount, and this is the top clear glass mount. This right now is set up for the 360. The H9 Elite does come with the one set up for the 240 by 120. So here is the 241. So if you are mounting a 240 mil radiator in the top of this thing, you can still do that. When in doubt, pull the manual out. So keep this in our hand out of the way. And this thing goes up. Okay, so this is a little bit of a juggling act here, guys, not gonna lie. Okay, so that tray just slides in, and then when you get it in the right spot, there's 2 little hand screws up here. Another thing I didn't do was at the top here, I didn't tighten any of the screws holding the radiator in. I figured what I would do is get it in, make sure it was centered the way I want it, and then tighten them down. So we're going to do that right now. Then what we want to do is put these guys on. I'm just going to put them on barely tight for now until I get all 4 of them. We'll say this is looking really slick. I prefer to use all the same product manufacturers, or all the same manufacturers of multiple products that are designed to work together. Just the actual fit and finish of this is really nice. Now I'm just going to push those. They actually rotate a little bit, which is nice. Now, this is an LCD screen on the Kraken 360 Elite here, RGB, and you can do many things. And once we get this computer to post, I'm going to show what exactly this thing does, and it's pretty cool. I think we'll also put in this single RGB fan here as well for the case exit fan. Alright, so there you go, that's installed. So now, oh yeah, that looks nice. That'll keep that out of the way. There's these guys here. Now, at this point in time, it may be a good idea to install our bottom fans. So what I've got going on is 3 of these dual RGBs. So we're going to use those as our bottom fans because they match these dual RGBs there. Now I'm going to put some thought into this for a minute because we're pushing out. So we want to be drawing in from the bottom, right? So we're going to want to install these. Wait, this is going to be pushing in. And that's going to be pushing out. In, out. Okay. Man, I almost wonder if those shouldn't be the other way, but there's obviously method behind the madness here. So That being the case, we want our fans to go in this direction here. I'm just going to take a quick second and clean a little bit of the dust because these were installed in the other system. There's not much, but I'm just going to try and get the bulk of it with my fingers off of here. And so we're going to want these fans installed this same way. I think like this, because then we'll bring the air in, or should we bring the air out? I'm going to look at the manual quick, see what they suggest.
Now it's time to supply some power with the PSU. Important note with this H9, you want to install your PSU with the fan facing outwards towards the mesh, not towards your motherboard. Important note, or you will probably have overheat issues. Oh man. So this is the Corsair RM1000E that I've installed here. It was previously installed in my last case, the H5 Elite as well. One of the really nice things about this case is there's Velcro spots everywhere for all this wiring to help make this a little bit less messy. So now the thing to do is going to be to pass each one through that we need to hook up, and then what we'll do is just organize the mess as best we can as we go. Alright guys, as you can see, we've just about got that portion of it wrapped out. I'm going to flip it around here and show you the wiring, how we ended up in the back, because I do have most of that in. The next thing we are going to do is I am going to install this offset GPU. So you'll notice a theme with the two computers we've had. They're both black cases, and honestly, once you go black, there's no going back. Alright, so check this out guys. This is the back of the case. This is awesome. So this is complete free flow here. So I'm going to go ahead and install this real quick. Just drop it in there, and then it pops in, and there's one screw on the far side here. Actually going to put back on the top. This piece comes off. Actually the button comes off for the on-off on it, so it just collars back over. You just align this bad boy up, pop her down like that, and she's good to go. So now, alright, so we're going to remove all of these expansion bays now to make room for this. So there's 7 of them that need to go. I don't know why the focus is wandering so much. Okay. All right. Alright, so as you can see, we have made some room. I believe the way to do this is how I'm attempting to do this. I think maybe you go from this side. Side note here, you're going to want to make sure when you're going to handle your graphics card that you are not standing on carpet with socks on. I just stand on a couple of magazines normally when I'm doing this. We got to do here
let's try and install this bad boy. This is the MSI 7900 XTX from Radeon AMD. This thing is sexy and massive. So now I'm going to attempt, oh no. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky. I'll do my best to not have my big head in your way. Alright, that clipped in. So now we've still got to do the power and the last screw back there. Alright, now we just got to put the power, plug the power in. Oh, these are 6+2s. They're a real pain in the ass. Alright everybody, so as you can see, this is the back end of the H9 Elite. This is your tray right here where you can screw down 4 2.5 inch drives. As you see, I referenced earlier I removed that cage for the HDD drives as I will not be using those. Now, I am having a small issue. Not sure if it's related, and I will update it when I figure it out, but as you see here, the H9 came with this RGB controller from NZXT. I purchased one of the same RGB controllers, so there's 6 RGB outlets on each one and 3 fan outlets on each one. They also require a 2.0 pin plug from your motherboard, which it does come with a Y, so that if you've only got one you can Y it into the 2. So I'm also running the Kraken Elite, and that has a 2.0 plug for all of its fans. So my headers, I have two 2.0 headers on my motherboard. I'm having an issue where I've got these two RGB controllers wide off of the one 2.0 port. I'm able to run my RGB on it, but if I put any fans in those ports, when I fire up my computer, it kind of goes into really cripply slow motion mode, and as soon as I unplug the fans out of there, it runs fine. And I've noticed once in a while it's doing the same thing, so I'm not really too sure what's going on. I may be having power supply unit issues. I'm not exactly sure, so I'll update you if I get that figured out or when I get it figured out. But as you can see, we've kind of made out a little bit better here than what you may have saw earlier. So once you really get everything sorted out where everything's going to be, that's when you start going one wire at a time, or that's when I start going one wire at a time and cleaning this up, using it up in a way that then there's not much leftover wire so that it looks as tidy as possible. As you can see in this dual chamber design here, there's so much space. So I mean, if you really wanted to get creative, you could probably use cable protectors and make this look really, really, really nice and really cool. For me, I think this looks good. It's organized, it's tied down. I know where everything is, so it's easy to work with in the future. I ended up having to do this because in this case, there's 3 fans here, there's 3 fans on the bottom, I've got 3 fans on my CPU cooler, there's an exhaust fan as well, so there's a lot of frickin' fans, and they're all RGB, so I have a lot of RGB demands, so that's why I had to go this route. But anyways, if you maybe have some insight into the issues that I've described, and maybe I'm describing something that's not exactly related to what I think, let me know in the comments below. That'd be really helpful. There you have it, folks. Operational, running build. Focus in. This is NZXT's H9 Elite with a 7900 XTX graphics card. It's got a 7700X 7 series Ryzen CPU in it. I put the NZXT Kraken Elite 360 RGB, which you can see the LCD screen. We've got the GIF going on there. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments below on what you think about this. Alright, as you can see, I now have all my fans spinning and all the RGB is working. Yay! Alright everybody, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got a ton of great content coming up, so stay tuned.
Remember, as always, guys, be kind to each other.